The Douglas Mwonzora-led MDCT party has started pushing parliament to ensure that pending by-elections are suspended indefinitely, claiming that the COVID-19 pandemic has made the playing field uneven. Mwonzora, who in the past year has been maneuvering to be the main opposition leader in Zimbabwe, last month met President Emerson Mnangagwa and his deputy comrade Constantino Chiwenga under controversial circumstances to push for the postponement of the polls. When the Standard exposed the plan, he flatly denied that he was pushing for the elections to be scrapped. It has since emerged that the MDCT leaders introduced the proposal to delay the elections in Parliament's Peace and Security Thematic Committee last week, following a presentation by the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, the ZEC. The MDCT is said to be very wary of elections because it might lose its newfound power in a direct contest with the mainstream opposition party, the MDC Alliance, and the ruling ZANU-PF. Mwonzora's party recalled dozens of MDC Alliance legislators and councillors as he wrestled for the control of the party with Nelson Chamisa. The MDCT chairperson Morgan Komichi confirmed to the Standard that the parliament process and defended the move, saying the COVID-19 pandemic had handed ZANU-PF an unfair advantage in electoral preparations. It's not about elections, but it's about the pandemic and whether we'll be able to have free and fair elections, said Komichi. What is happening at the moment is no other political party is allowed to do political programs except the ZANU-PF. Every day we see ZANU-PF addressing its provincial meetings, and it will be foolhardy for political parties to clamour for elections during this pandemic. That is an argument based on what the ZEC is doing now that points to free and fair and democratic processes. Committee said holding elections now would only favour the ZANU-PF. You can't call for opening up for campaigning now, because if you start the campaign, you plunge Zimbabwe into what happened in India, that went into elections and experienced over 200,000 new cases every day for more than a month. Many countries, I think over 80 of them, have put elections on hold to deal with the pandemic. It is a debate Zimbabweans must start talking about now, especially the opposition political parties, because they will call for elections without necessary reforms, then start calling the process unfair. Committee said the elections should only come after reforms that include those guaranteeing freedom of assembly and ensuring the independence of SEC, among other issues. But the MDC Alliance said the push by the MDCT to stop elections was motivated by a sinister agenda. We gather that as well, and it is very ludicrous and it sets a very bad precedent, said the MDC Alliance Secretary for Elections, Ian Makone. There are countries, including Zambia and South Africa, who have not abandoned elections because of the pandemic. What they have in fact done is to take measures that enable people to exercise their right in a safe manner. We are supportive of all the efforts to curtail the pandemic, but we are also sticklers for the provisions of our own constitution. Those advocating for postponement, I dare say, have reasons other than the pandemic, and they should be exposed for what they are. Crisis in Zimbabwe Coalition Director Blessing Mava said suspending the elections was against the country's constitution and would plunge Zimbabwe into a constitutional crisis. What we need at the moment is to assess how other countries, namely Tanzania and Malawi, held elections under the same COVID-19 pandemic. Zambia will also be holding its elections next month, said Mava. It's an illegal proposal pushed by those without a political base, but they know that they will perform badly because the moment of truth is reckoning. They are afraid of defeat because they have been surviving politically at the mercy of the courts and the ruling party. Solomon Bobosinu of the Election Resource Center said our position is that suspension or non-holding of elections cannot be done by the ZEC alone, neither can it be through an instruction from the executive through a statutory instrument.